Good evening, everybody. This is Reed on the Pursuit of Justice once again, ready each and every day to bring y'all the truth about my brother's case, Rodney Reed, and the facts therein, and what's going on in the death penalty and the movement. This week was a very, very uh, powerful week in history for us because on February 23rd, 2015, my brother received his first stay. My family was uh, in support and strong there, and we all had a chance to breathe again, and shortly after my dad passed, but he lived long enough to see my brother receive that first stay, which meant that he knew that Rodney would still yet have a chance to be freed, for the truth to come out, for justice to prevail, and that gave him some comfort while himself knowing he had to leave, and so that was very powerful for us, and that's one of the last things my dad asked of me and the family, to keep the fight and to keep strong and to look after my mother. So it's a very moving part of, very strong part of history for us. And as for Rodney, people are wondering what's going on. His health is good. He's strong. He's doing real well right now, and so God is good. It's been very tough here the past few weeks, with this winter storm and everything else, and going through all these things, and we've maintained and we overcame, and it's due to the help of a lot of people in the community, people standing up, banding together, and helping one another. Neighbors helping neighbors, people helping strangers, and that's what life is all about. Getting outside of that box and doing for others. And I saw that taking place here in Bastrop and all over, for that matter. It's just beautiful when God works through people. And that's what we got to continue to have to take place in my brother's case, not just in my brother's case, but abolishing the death penalty. That is crucial. I believe that God put us on this path to do just that. It was more than just to save my brother. It was to help save others. And the storm reminded me of that. How we've got to come together and get out of our own little circle and stand up for others, help others, care about others. And that's what we as abolitionists is doing out there, is standing up and being the voice of people who have no voice, that cannot speak for themselves, that cannot do for themselves because of their current situation. And that's been something that I believe God has tasked me to help do. It's going to take all of us together, though. I can't do it by myself, nor can anyone else. It's going to take a unified effort for us to be able to do that. And we have done that, and we've been successful, because coming up on March 5th is the time that my brother got his second stay. And so we have been working together, but we must do more, and it is bigger and above Rodney. Don't get it twisted. That's what I want us to see, and that's my main goal, is to get my brother home, but at the same time is to help abolish the death penalty, to do our part, to show the reasons why we should abolish this death penalty. Rodney is a great example for the reason there should be no death penalty. It has all the key markers, prosecutorial misconduct, evidence tampering, uh, evidence withholding, intimidating witnesses, police corruption, uh, and the list goes on. And those are reasons why this penalty should not be involved, because, as we know, if you don't have the capital, you're going to get the punishment. If you don't have that money behind you and people behind you, they're going to do whatever they deem necessary to do with you, even if that's to take your life. So we need to change that. We need to show that that is not the way justice is supposed to be had. You cannot get justice that way when you are doing what you want to do and not worried about the truth. Justice is and should be about the truth, and bringing that to light and giving people a chance at redemption. And so, we got a lot of work coming up to do. We thank God for the stay here that was planned to go to Huntsville to protest the upcoming execution, but there has been a stay. Thank God. That's a trip that we don't have to make, and that's a trip that I'm glad not to make. And hopefully no one will ever have to make a trip to death row to oppose their death sentence. That would be a blessing, a miracle, because right now there are people sitting on death row scheduled to die, and we need to see a day without that. We need to see a day where we can relax and we can concentrate on the other problems of the justice system. But until we eliminate this death penalty, that to me is the first and foremost thing that we got to do, because lives are being took. If we concentrate somewhere else, then a life is subject to be taken. So now we need to concentrate to save these lives so that they may have a chance to prove their innocence. If not that, so they may have a chance at redemption, because we are far more than the worst things we've ever done. And so therefore, that's what, like I say, these last few weeks have really, brought to the surface of, brought out of me, made me think about. And so I'm asking you, as a community, as a nation, as a whole, to continue to stand up and fight for Rodney Reed, and also help us fight to abolish the death penalty. That's, what it is. That's where my heart is. And I just had to get that out there today. We're gearing up. I'm going over reading. There's a lot of paperwork and stuff to read and stuff on evidence and witnesses in my brother's case, and I've been trying to do a little of that as I can. The cares of the world tend to kind of try to choke out things that are on your heart, but we can't let that do that. We have to draw that line somewhere and continue to fight, and don't let nothing choke that out of us. And so, and that's a task in itself. But I ask everybody to continue to do what you've been doing in support of Rodney, and also not just to be in support of Rodney, but be in support of abolishing the death penalty. Because as I stated just a few minutes ago, he's a prime example why we shouldn't have a death penalty. Until they can work out all the kinks, which they never will be able to, there should be no death penalty. And that's about it for today. I want people to know that we are scheduling some events, upcoming events, and next week I will have dates. We're having one here in March, and one the following month, and we're going to be doing all that we can do to just raise the awareness in my brother's case. So, and also the reason why we should abolish the death penalty. So thank everybody once again, and bless. Have a good night.